You know that feeling you get when you're walking down a quiet street at night? That little prickle on the back of your neck that says, maybe you're not alone. Well, today, we're going to dive into a story about an evening walk that starts out completely normal and ends up somewhere deeply, deeply unsettling. This is the story of the ghostly companion of Mall Road. So before we really get into it, let me ask you, what's the weirdest thing you've ever seen when you were walking by yourself? Just think about that for a second. Hold that memory in your head, because the story we're about to get into might just top it. You know, every really strange story has to have a totally normal beginning, right? And this one is no different. It all starts on a perfectly ordinary night. It was a holiday from school, and the plan was super simple, just a chill evening out with a friend. Nothing weird about that. So the evening kicks off just like you'd expect. They get to Mall Road around 7, grab some coffee and momos. You know, take a few pictures, just a typical hangout. Then, around 9 o'clock, they say their goodbyes, and our narrator starts the walk home, all alone. But it's on this walk home that, well, the whole vibe starts to shift. A few hundred meters in, a light drizzle starts to fall. The street gets really quiet, all the shops are closed up for the night, and the only light is coming from these kind of lonely street lamps. Our narrator is totally by themselves. Or at least, that's what they think. And that's when they see him. Way up ahead, just a silhouette in the distance, it's a man, and he's walking with an umbrella. Now, with the rain starting to come down a little harder, our narrator's first thought isn't fear. It's actually relief. I mean, it makes sense, right? The rain is picking up, and this guy's got an umbrella. So the narrator thinks, hey, why not ask to share? It's a pretty logical move. So they start walking a little faster, trying to catch up to him. But this is where everything logical about the evening just completely falls apart. What should have been a simple thing, just catching up to a guy with an umbrella, turns into this unsettling, impossible chase. And the feeling quickly goes from hopeful to just profoundly weird. And this is the part that's so bizarre. Our narrator picks up the pace, but the distance between them just doesn't change. So they start jogging, but they still can't gain an inch. It's like the street itself is stretching out between them, making it impossible to get any closer. So, getting frustrated and a little out of breath, the narrator finally just yells out, "Hello!" Hoping to get the guy's attention. And it actually works. The figure stops. And then, very slowly, he turns around. As he turns, the narrator sees he's an older man, maybe in his late 60s. But then they notice something else, something that is just wrong. He's holding this big open umbrella, but he is completely, totally drenched, like he's been standing in a monsoon. And without saying a single word, he just turns back around and starts walking again. Okay, so now they're completely freaked out. The narrator decides to slow way down, trying to put some space between them. But the second they slow down, the man up ahead slows down too. The narrator walks even slower, and the man matches their pace perfectly. He's not just walking anymore, he's literally mirroring every move. So the chase is over, and what starts next is something way, way more terrifying, a silent standoff. It feels like the entire world just goes completely quiet. Realizing there's no getting away, the narrator just gives up. They stop walking, dead in their tracks. And a few feet ahead, the man does the exact same thing. He stalks too. The distance between them is locked. They're just frozen there, standing in the rain, in absolute, deafening silence. And in that moment, it's just pure, unfiltered terror. The narrator is absolutely convinced that this is it. This is how it ends. The silence is crushing, and the fear is so real that they honestly believe they might not live to tell anyone what was happening to them. And right then, just when it feels like all hope is completely gone, when the fear is at its absolute peak, the tension is shattered by a sound from out of nowhere, an arrival that changes everything. All of a sudden, a police siren just rips through that silence. A car pulls up, and officers get out, asking our narrator what they're doing out there all alone. Can you even imagine the relief? Finally, someone is there. Help has arrived. So the narrator quickly explains the whole thing. The chase, the man who was soaking wet, the terrifying standoff. The police officer listens to the whole story, looks around the empty, rain-slicked street, and then delivers the final, chilling twist. He just says, "You were alone. There was no one else here." So, what was the official story? What could the police possibly say? Well, the only logical thing they could come up with was that the narrator must have been sleepwalking, that this whole terrifyingly real experience was nothing more than some kind of waking dream. And that's where this story leaves us, just hanging on that question. Was it a really vivid waking dream? Just the mind playing tricks on itself, like the police suggested? Or was there someone or something else out there on that dark, rainy road? A ghostly companion? Or just a trick of the mind? I'll let you decide.